What's up, people? Welcome to the Death Battle Cast. Hey, it's Ben. You know me, probably, unless you've never done one of these casts before. Then I'm just some random guy on the internet. With Sam, Liam, and Javier here. What's up, guys? We are talking about a very fun matchup today. Liam's jamming to it already.
I'm jamming. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, so if you've seen the thumbnail and the title, which I would imagine you have, considering you are here, we are indeed going to be talking about a fantastic matchup between two terrifically smart people, myself and maybe Liam. I don't know. Liam, do you think you're smart enough to contend with this?
I think I can handle it. I've got a lot to talk about. This was one of the most enjoyable matchups I've ever researched, or characters I've researched for this show. This was very fun.
Yeah, so we are doing Mr. Fantastic versus Mr. Terrific, and it has nothing to do with the fact that they were both in movies that just came out recently. Absolutely nothing to do with that. But we've been interested to explore these characters for a while, and it just seemed like the best possible opportunity to do just that. Yep. And hey, everybody, welcome. If you are just joining us live, we do this live every Tuesday at noon Central Time. Seeing a bunch of badges in chat. We did just start the process of removing the base form tier, if you aren't aware. So make sure to switch over to a new tier if you need to. We've got a bunch of...
We've
been talking about that for like 2 months. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Mine,
it is gone. Yeah. Okay.
So, we got a bunch of super chats coming in as well, including from Ten Tails, who says, before we do anything, can we take a small moment to reflect on what happened last week? Was it planned to have many reality bending power matchups, or did it just happen to be that way? So last week we did Megacast. Oh, fun story. Like that whole time, my stomach, like something, I felt real bad. Like about 30 minutes into that Megacast, 3-hour-long Megacast, my stomach started attacking me. So I don't know if you could tell by my face throughout that whole thing, but I was like, oh, I'm not feeling good. I like stepped away twice to get Pepto-Bismol, and then that Pepto-Bismol did not work and actually made it worse. So fun stuff. But Megacast was really fun. Thank you everybody for joining us for the 3-hour-long Death Battle cast. Yeah, it kind of turned out we did not plan, we planned out what matchups we were going to talk about. We did not plan for there to be any sort of recurring themes. We kind of just looked through the list of matchups we had and we're thinking okay, what would feel like, what feels like we could talk about in this format?
Yeah.
And also make it, because it was also largely about not just us discussing the matchups, but also making it a conversation with you guys. And it was I guess that's the best way to put it. What matchups were most conversational, right? That we could bounce off of you guys. And it just happened that a lot of them had reality bending characters and dragons.
Yeah, and also a large part of it was just who's available this Tuesday to research and be a part of these characters. That mattered more than the characters themselves, right? It was
that too. Yeah.
Yeah. We did not plan at all. We planned for it to be these employees have time.
We did not plan at all.
Well, not the matchup, not in that way. If anyone knows anything about anything at all, let us know. Is really what it is.
Yeah, so with that confession that we actually know nothing, let's talk about two characters that have a crap ton of history to get into. So the way this works is we are going to be having a face-off between Liam and Javier. Javier's going to be repping Mr. Fantastic. Liam is going to be repping Mr. Terrific. And we're totally not going to get these names mixed up at all. And at the end of the podcast, we will throw it all over to all of you watching this live to determine who wins in a death battle. You will be able to vote. So get ready for that. All right, let's get this started. I think we will throw it over to you, Javi, for Fantastic first. Just to kind of get the character that maybe people are more familiar with out of the way, unless you've seen the most recent Superman movie. But Mr. Fantastic, really, who is Mr. Fantastic, and how is he going to beat the shit out of Mr. Terrific?
Well, Mr. Fantastic is by and large recognized as the number one most smartest human being in all of, oh, really smartest being, period, in Marvel Comics. One of the big takeaways that I want the audience to, grasp from Reed himself is, yeah, he has stretchy powers, but his main bread and butter is his intelligence. So, for instance, he hacked into Doom's very own one of Doom's own Doombots inside of his facilities. Who Doom is obviously the guy that he regularly combats with intellectually on a regular basis. And he hacked one of his Doombots to hack all of his facilities at once, as just like a little like Trojan horse program. Now you're probably wondering, well, how did he do that? Especially because like it was sort of like a jailhouse situation. It was a jailbreak situation. He has a molecular structure of fabrics embedded in his suit that lets him, upon touching stuff, hack into any technology. And yeah,
What?
so literally
Hot
any
garbage.
technology that Mr. Terrific is gonna throw his way, he's just gonna touch it and he's gonna hack into it in the
That's
same exact way.
that feels so painfully as like the writers just being backed into a corner. It's like his fabric hacks into stuff. You're like, fucking talking
I gotta
about?
admit, I never heard of that one before. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some wild shit.
Yeah, that's a new one for me. I love that, like, across Marvel and DC, there are characters who get superpowers where their superpower is, I'm smart now. I'm a genius. I'm going to be one of the smartest people in existence. But the actual smartest person in existence just has stretchy powers, like no super genius superpowers at all. He just happens. In fact, most of them, I think, do not actually have superhuman generated intelligence or whatever. They don't have their intelligence from some sort of superhumanizing accident or whatever. So sucks to be a mutant with super intelligence, I guess. He'll always be second fiddle. But all right, let's talk about Mr. Terrific. Who the heck is Mr. Terrific? Mr.
So
Michael, right?
Yes.
All
Are
right.
you gonna go? Yeah, Michael is his first name. Michael Holt.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, Michael. Let's talk about Michael.
Let's talk about Michael. Michael Holt is Mr. Terrific. He is a legacy hero. So there was a Mr. Terrific from the Golden Age. The idea behind the Golden Age Mr. Terrific is that he's all about fair play. He is like the idea of a superhero as like a good guy, the goodest guy. He's good at everything. And being a superhero made him happy. It brought him out of his depression. He's hyper competent in everything. And Michael Holt is the current Mr. Terrific, and he takes that concept to the next level. His superpower is that he has, quote, a natural aptitude for having natural aptitudes. His superpower is learning. Sam, I sent you some images. I don't know if you got them.
Yeah, I got them all.
One of my favorite feats of all time that I've ever seen is Terrific 13. So there was a time when his intelligence, his super intelligence, was completely erased. And so he has this scene where he's in like his house, and it's literally just Batman Year One, the scene where Batman is like, I will become a bat. And he's sitting there and he goes, I was not born as smart as I am now. I learned it through hard work. So I guess I'll have to do it all again. And he turns the TV on, and it's like this kids show. It's like, hey kids, let's learn how to read. And he learns how to read and learns everything about he relearns everything that he knows about the entire universe in like a couple of days. That's his superpower, is learning. So he is a master in every sort. He has a PhD in like everything, tons of different languages, hyper competent in everything. He describes himself, he markets himself as the third smartest person on Earth, which is a really weird thing to say about yourself, right? Wouldn't you say, I'm the smartest person on Earth, or I'm one of the smartest people on Earth? The idea being that Lex Luthor is the smartest, then Batman, then him. Okay, there is a reason he does this. Because Batman has directly said, no, Mr. Terrific is smarter than I am. Superman has said, no, Mr. Terrific is smarter than Batman. Mr. Terrific says this on purpose, to lull people into having a lower expectation of his intelligence that he does. In Heroes in Crisis, he has a quote. He says, "When you lap the field in a race, for a while you look like you're behind. So it seems to people from the outside you're in, let's say, third place, when in fact you're just biding your time until you lap them again." He is the smartest person on Earth, and so much smarter than everyone else that he has lapped them. And we'll get into he has an intelligence feat that is the most insane thing I've ever experienced. And I just want to address the hacking of the T-spheres that Javier brought up. The T-spheres are unable to be hacked. He's designed them to be impervious to being hacked from Brother Eye, which is Batman's Ultron, essentially. It is a piece of technology that completely overwhelmed the entire Earth, took over the Earth. And he's unable to be hacked by that. He's unable actually to be detected by any technology on Earth anywhere. He is invisible to it. There's not going to be an easy solution for Reed here.
Like any explanation why he's just undetectable by everything?
Yes, he released the T-spheres and his T-mask release a low-level electromagnetic field that disrupts anything that like scans him. So like if it uses light beams to scan him, then he is undetectable. If he speaks, it can kind of hear him, like technology can like hear him or something.
Thermal vision or something. Like that's not light.
That as well. That is
so hang on. When Jimmy Olsen snaps a picture of him, does he just not appear in the picture?
I don't know. I think the idea is that
if you're saying if it's light, cameras should not fucking work. Like,
yeah,
that's how they work.
They don't. I think the idea is that if it's being used by any sort of advanced technology, that is correct. They don't work. There is an example of an OMAC looking like at him, scanning him, and there's like Wildcat and Green Lantern coming, and they have like the heat. You know, they're emitting heat and everything, and then they pan over, and there's just this sort of like faint outline where Mr. Terrific is.
I really hope there was a circumstance where somebody did a like on the fly interview with him, you know, like ambushed him at a scene or whatever. But on the air, it looks like the reporter's just going mad.
I'm sure also that
he
can like. I'm also sure that he can like turn it on and off, right? He controls his T-spheres telepathically, so I think that probably would explain it.
Sure.
Like that.
That's fun though. Okay. We'll say El Cato's got a super chat that says, "I'm so glad this is a cast because you don't know how much I've wanted this since I watched both Superman and Fantastic Four." So we're generally just focusing on comic book characters here. We're not going to get into spoilers for those two movies because they just came out. So don't worry about spoilers there. Okay.
Real quick, just because I think it is an easy one. Crossover 4 asked if we ever considered doing a Death Battle episode with Jocelyn and Wiz Jocelyn and Ringmaster rather than Wiz. Yes, that is our. If anytime Chad and Ben fly together on a plane, we just make sure Lisa and Billy are safe. We're like, y'all are in case the plane goes down, right? We have that president code in case they go. We got our backups ready to go.
I mean, I'm going to do a quick poll in the chat to see if people would be interested in that while we keep talking. Omni Dragon says, a bit of a fun fact, out of all the Fantastic Four members, Sue Storm is the only one that people have trouble finding a matchup for, not joking.
Yeah, it's because Sue's silly. They're all kind of silly.
They're all silly, but she's got the most, I guess, like esoteric powers, right?
She's the black mage of the group.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So there isn't like a very specific.
Johnny is DPS. Thing is
Yeah.
tank.
Okay.
Yeah,
Reed is strategist. I don't know.
Yeah.
Reed support.
Reed support. Reed is
because he has all the tech or whatever, right? If
Yeah,
somebody goes down, he's gonna shoot over a healing drone or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And Gilded Data super chat. Mr. Terrific will throw a T-sphere, and Reed will stretch and go, "Let me return the favor," and reflect the spear and one-shot Terrific. Guess not. If the
I don't think so.
Okay,
Well,
if the spheres are unhackable. Well, let's talk a little bit about what Reed can do, right?
Yes.
Like outside of his like hacking fabric, what's he got?
So he also has really good sensor technology that can actually locate things similar to the sensor hiding tech that Mr. Terrific has. So Hank Pym, the fifth smartest person in the Marvel universe, happened to make image inducer technology on his ants that not only were his sensors able to also spot, which Hank's ant image inducer tech is invisible even to Ultron himself. Uh, but Reed Richards, just by like eye shot, was able to spot these inducers, this inducer tech as well, because he's that smart. And I'm gonna get
Okay.
into a little bit more on how smart he is, because in a similar vein of Mr. Terrific's power is learning, so is Reed's. So Reed Richard created a concept called the Solve Everything Plan. This was plan number 101. This is literally every single problem that Earth has solved by just math. He actually used this plan before to solve a few other problems or to inject a few other solutions during some big Marvel arcs. So, for instance, him cloning Thor, a part of the Civil War arc in Marvel. But this concept is so like in depth that it ends up solving world hunger, getting rid of poverty and disease, and it leads into a timeline that is actually a direct offshoot of his exact timeline, to where planet Earth is completely solved of all issues. And of course, Doom's pissed off about that. Um, he has a harmonic disruptor that can shut down containment fields powered by cosmic cubes. So any sort of field technology that Mr. Terrific is capable of producing will absolutely get shut down in one shot. He also has a chronal displacement device that lets him literally pause time around him for about 4 minutes. So that would kind of enable him to get any sort of kill shot. And you can't really be too smart if you're literally not even moving through time. And then he also has weapons that, similar to Rocket, are capable of just like killing like Celestials. So he has an entropy gun that literally kills a Celestial. But he actually has a Galactus mech. Now, I thought this thing was going to have to be operated by the entirety of the Fantastic Four, but no, he actually uses it just by himself. So how powerful is this Galactus mech? I mean, it would kind of infer that, yeah, maybe it is as strong as Galactus, but, not really too sure sometimes. Maybe you need a little bit more evidence. So there was a robot that was created by another gentleman from a place called New World, which was, to my knowledge, a parallel version of Earth that was set to kind of replace the mainline Earth. So the smartest guy in that world made this robot called CAP. I don't know the full acronym name, but CAP. This robot one-shot all of America's most powerful heroes, which at the time, and there is even a shot of all of the heroes that it takes down: Hercules, Sentry, Captain Marvel, Storm, Yellow Jacket, Hank Pym, which Hank Pym it was Hank Pym around the time because that was Mighty Avengers. So Hank Pym himself in giant form. And this anti-Galactus mech actually ends up one-shotting Cap in one punch.
Okay. Wait. So it's just, is it as big as Galactus? Is it this like enormous thing that, is it meant to fight Galactus?
It's
It
huge,
is like
yeah,
Galactus sized, yeah. It's as
Yeah.
big as like Galactus when Galactus like comes to Earth. Like
yeah,
that.
when he shrinks down, yeah.
Okay. And what's stopping Mr. Terrific from just hacking it and using it against Reed?
Well, that's a good question. uh, to my knowledge, well, it hasn't been hacked before. I would have to assume that similar to the type of hacking resistant technology he has in, for instance, the Fantastic Car, and even the Baxter Building, would be kind of applicable to this mech. I will say it's only been used once, but it is really powerful, and is supposed to apparently be Galactus level. So
So this is just a super weapon he has in his garage that he just doesn't bring out. It's kind of like, why am I blanking on Batman's like super suit? Like, what the heck was that called?
The Hellfire.
Yeah, the Hellfire
Or
or the
Hellbat.
Hell Knight suit or whatever. Yeah, is it like that? Like they have this incredible super weapon just hanging out, but they just never use it.
yeah, it's just chilling. I
Cool.
even looked at it. It said
Okay.
one appearance, and it was just that. that comic.
Awesome.
So
Thanks, Reed.
The resources that must have been necessary to make a Galactus size mech and then just to never use it is.
yeah, well, actually, okay. So to be fair,
They
it
have
costs.
access to the other dimensions and things like that. So
Yeah.
wait,
it
we know
costs-
how much it costs.
It costs $1 billion a second to operate. So it's like a money thing. That's why they can't really use it too much.
Reed's solve everything plan can't fix capitalism, apparently. Can't do that one with math.
Oh,
bud.
okay, so that's why he doesn't bring it up, because if he did, he would go bankrupt.
Go broke.
Oh, that's amazing. Reminds me of Power Rangers when Lord Zed has like the biggest Zord of all that's gonna destroy planets, but he can't operate it because it ran out of batteries. Like it's basically the same thing at that point. Incredible. $12 billion to use for a few seconds. That's crazy. Okay. Oh, super chat from Cody Briner. Similar to the Fantastic Four, I herald the coming of my new nephew, Paxton. $10 just because I'm excited for my sister. Congrats on becoming an uncle, Cody. And then I've seen a couple people with super chats talking about Reed being able to go toe to toe with Doctor Doom, like physically. And how that might actually be a significant factor in the fight. So Liam,
Yeah.
there might be more tech to talk about, but like in terms of fighting ability, just like physical fighting ability, and weapons available and things like that, can Terrific compete with Fantastic as a like physical fighter?
On his own, I don't think so. He's like a Batman level character on his own. What he uses to supplement that are his T-spheres. His T-spheres are essentially like fully integrated with his combat. In the same sense that Reed's like stretchiness is a part of him. His armor and his mask are made of T-spheres. And are integrated with him like that. So without his T-spheres, no, he was just a guy.
Can we get
he's like a Batman kind of guy.
Real quick, like what the fuck is a T-sphere?
A T-sphere is a floating sphere that is made of this sort of like indeterminate metal. Like it's sort of a liquid metal.
Yeah,
it's
like-
sort of an energy metal. It's like a piece of technology they just created that can do anything. He's surrounded himself with floating plot devices. Is what I would describe it.
Like I mean, I know what they look like in the comics and stuff, but like I don't know. Like,
what are they?
So is it a thing he made? Like, is it a?
Yes, he made all of them. He has thousands of them. He keeps them in his T Sanctuary, which is his home base that is located in the 9th dimension. That he can teleport back and forth with the T-spheres. He can just go back and forth. He has thousands of them stored there, so he can bring them all to Earth or wherever he's fighting. Anywhere in the multiverse, he can bring them all at once. He has a large T-sphere that he can fly around in space, like at faster than light speeds, and also hop universes and stuff. Fun fact, it's powered by an interdimensional jump core, and he's building it, and he said, he's saying like, oh, if I do this incorrectly, this will create a black hole that will consume the entire universe. But thankfully, I don't make mistakes, and he just finishes it. Physically, he is a master martial artist. He has, I think, 6 black belts. There's a really funny feat that he has. This is Terrific 4, Sam, where he is fighting Doc Dredd, who has a hood and a metal mask. Yes, there is a comic line called The Terrifics where he has his team of Plastic Man, Phantom Girl, and Metamorpho. So a stretchy guy, a weird freak guy, a genius guy, and a girl with weird psychic powers. And they fight a villain called Doc Dredd, and it's the Fantastic Four. It's a bunch of homages to the Fantastic Four. There's a Galactus that they fight later. But when he's fighting Doc Dredd, this is Terrific 4. His wife, who is his wife from a different universe, who is the Mr. Terrific or the Miss Terrific of that universe, scans Doc Dredd's armor with her T cubes, which are just identical to the T spheres, and analyzes his armor and discovers its weaknesses. And so having scanned that, Mr. Terrific goes up and just hits the armor in one spot, and the armor just goes, just like falls apart completely. So he is dexterous enough to be able to disable this like super advanced piece of technology after scanning it by just hitting it with like a karate chop.
Sounds like just really poorly put together armor, like really cheap armor.
No, it is very, very super advanced armor. It's just that like they analyzed it's like shatter points from Star Wars, essentially. That you just hit it at the right point and it all falls apart. It's like a
Okay.
Okay. I can talk about the T spheres. Okay, so part of the terrifics that run is that he's dealing with Stag Industries, which has stolen his T-sphere technology and has tried to adapt it. And a lot of the plots are about the ways in which they have fucked up his technology and made it super dangerous. So they use his T-spheres to create the N-sphere, which becomes the noosphere, which is this supercomputer. It's Ultron, basically, but it's their version of Galactus, because it has a silver herald that shows up and goes, "You're about to be destroyed." But it becomes so advanced that it starts to consume the intelligence of the entire universe. And it's revealed that the noospheres in alternate universes have consumed most of the other universes in the multiverse because they're so hyper intelligent. And he literally says, he says, "Guys, I know that my T-spheres are capable of doing this. I intentionally limited them so that they wouldn't devour the multiverse." So that's the level of intelligence that he has, is that he intentionally is preventing them from destroying the multiverse. They can scan and analyze any piece of technology and fully understand it. They have force fields, which are strong enough to stop attacks from Kryptonians and Kryptonian level beings like Bizarro and Lobo. They were able to contain the event horizon of a black hole. They were able to contain the Warlagog, which is a map of the multiverse. It's this like floating goop that can warp the multiverse if you touch it whatsoever. So it was able to contain that, and it was able to project a force field that could protect him from dark multiverse energy, which warps and consumes reality.
Right, that energy.
Yeah,
Dark
yeah,
multiverse energy. Yep.
exactly.
Of course.
They can detonate like bombs and hurt Kryptonian level characters. They can create holograms of people and also just anything. They can make things invisible or make them hard light, so that's like you're physically interacting with them. They can shoot lasers. They can shock people. Several of them were strong enough to lift like this island like out of the ground. They can magnetize technology. They can hack into anything just by touching it. They can hack into things.
So they are just MacGuffins. They're just whatever.
They're MacGuffins.
Yeah, okay.
Furthermore, he has a special kind of hacking where they can zap him, Mr. Terrific, and turn him into digital energy. Like it's called cyber mode, where he'll enter into a piece of software and run in and start to like. That's how he bypasses.
Like reboot?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And in fact, he can
Cool.
use the T-spheres within virtual reality to create like computer viruses that disrupt that virtual reality. He did that against the noosphere.
Maybe because I see WS was talking about in the chat how Reed Richards was once able to stretch at a speed only slightly slower than the speed of light. We should talk about just like what are their like their strength, their speed, like where are their peak feet at? Because I also assume Reed Richards actually does have a faster than light. I'm just guessing.
Probably.
There's no way he hasn't.
So as we discussed before, Liam literally went into the black void.
He'll come back. Don't.
Yeah.
Mr. Terrific is more along the Batman level of peak human,
Yeah.
in DC terms. But Fantastic is not.
Way above.
Yeah, like what are we looking at with Fantastic in terms of his physical ability?
So interestingly enough, someone already actually mentioned this earlier, but he does go toe to toe physically with Doctor Doom a bunch of times. He has physically restrained a bloodlusted Thing before. Thing, can obviously go toe to toe with Hulk.
Oh, right, the Thing. I was like, you're not going to be specific.
Oh.
Just some bloodlusted Thing. I don't know.
Yeah. They named him perfectly for that reason. But yeah, so he's physically restrained him before. And yeah, I remember seeing that line before, just slightly under the speed of light. But also, he tangos with characters that can react to the speed of light and beyond. Doom being one of them, of course. Feel like I'm going to keep referencing him, but as far as his body though, it's very resistant to slashes from even Wolverine's claws. Interestingly enough, he's wrapped his entire body around the Baxter building before. And I believe in the instance when he did this, it was surrounded by vampires, and they were all biting at him, and none of them could puncture his skin, despite that being the whole point of being a vampire.
That was a
And then
sentence. Okay.
yeah, but yeah, physically, I mean, like Liam was saying, if it's just gonna be because what I think this is gonna end up being is they're both gonna make it to where their tech is fantastical as both of their intelligence is in regards to their technology. Um, they're gonna hack each other to the point, or they're gonna like technology attack each other to the point where it's just gonna be them.
But
and
okay,
Reed's
so
gonna come out on
Reed
top every time.
at just slightly below the speed of light can just stretch his arm, and like if Mr. T does nothing, that arm's going right through him, punching a hole straight through my guy. Does Mr. Terrific ever have like those feats where he's like, reacting that fast? You got a classic dodges lightning or some shit for me?
Well,
Yes.
you mentioned that he competes with Kryptonians.
Oh yeah, if he's
yeah.
fighting okay.
He
So
can
he's
react
not
to
getting
light
blitzed.
beams and dot. He can react to light. Yeah, no, he can react to light beam and dodge lasers. He survived an nth metal bomb, which is kind of fucking insane. An nth metal is a form of metal that is just magic. It can warp reality. It can kind of do anything. So surviving an nth metal bomb, it's not quantifiable, but you shouldn't be able to do that. That's what I like. You shouldn't be able to survive an nth metal bomb. It should kill you.
It's more of a reality bending thing then.
Yeah. But he was able to tank it just like with his armor. Okay, I have more
Okay,
spirit feats.
Yeah. Well, hang on a second, because let's
Okay.
get into that because in just a second, because we do have a super chat that I think is going to kind of help determine where this conversation needs to go, which is from Little Zbot saying, how would you even figure out if one character is more intelligent than the other? In determining like that level of intelligence and that comparison, I think might be a really big factor here, simply because, yeah, if they do get into fisticuffs, Fantastic does have probably a pretty good advantage at that point. But Mr. Terrific would know that, and his T-spheres offer him like innumerable, it seems, options to prevent that from happening. So I think that level of intelligence is going to be the biggest
He
factor
especially
here.
knows it because Plastic Man is a member of the Terrifics. So he's commanded and
go,
knows
there
everything
you
about
go.
Plastic Man, so
So-
he's familiar with that.
I want you guys to be thinking about that. How do you prove that your character is more intelligent than the other? While I talk about something else for just a bit. Hey, everybody. Let me tell you a bedtime story. Once upon a time, Austin did too much work. Being a producer for Death Battle can be exhausting. So Austin wanted a mattress. A mattress with top tier quality, honest pricing, and real American craftsmanship for a better night's sleep. The best mattress. So Austin did what any good Death Battle creator would do. Research. And he found the best mattress at Brooklyn Bedding, the sponsor for today's episode. Yes, that was just a whole lead into the sponsor, Brooklyn Bedding. And that's a true story, by the way. The reason why Brooklyn Bedding is today's sponsor is because we actually already liked their mattresses. And Austin recommended Brooklyn Bedding to me, and now it's what I sleep on every night. And there were so many options to choose from as well, because Brooklyn Bedding knows that sleep isn't one size fits all. So they offer mattresses for every body and sleep style. If you sleep hot, maybe the Aurora Luxe is for you. It actually feels quite cool to the touch. As for me, I'm not really a huge fan of memory foam, but the Sedona uses this like special blend of foams and coils to prevent that like sinking feeling that memory foam can have, and it's great. One might say it's terrific or fantastic, depending on what side you fall on. It's got just the right amount of bounce, and it's easily the best mattress I've ever had. Thanks, Austin, for the recommendation. And of course, if you're hesitant to buy a mattress without trying it first, Brooklyn Bedding does have over 100 showrooms across the United States. There's probably one near you. Either way, they do offer a 120-day trial. So if you don't love the mattress, they'll help you return or swap it hassle-free. It's legitimately really comfortable. I mean, you're going to be sleeping on a mattress for like a third of your life. You might as well get something that's really good, right? So not only is Brooklyn Bedding like our sponsor, but because they, believe in us and support the show, but we also believe in them. We think their mattresses are fantastic. And I can personally say that it's definitely the best sleep that I've had. So go to brooklynbedding.com and use promo code DBC at checkout to get 30% off site-wide. That's kind of huge. We're talking about mattresses here. 30% off site-wide. This offer is not available anywhere else. That's brooklynbedding.com with promo code DBC for 30% off site-wide. And make sure you enter our show name at checkout so they know that we sent you. That's brooklynbedding.com, promo code DBC. Legitimately, guys, if you need a bed, Brooklyn Bedding is the way to go. It's fantastic and terrific. Let's get back to that. Okay,
Beautiful
so
segue.
how are we going to determine who's smarter?
I had an idea. So, Hank Pym was designated by Eternity himself as Scientist Supreme. But when they were having this conversation, which by the way, it was official, there were several different comics that outlined Hank as officially Scientist Supreme, one of them being a data book. Hank tells Eternity, well, isn't Reed Richards like the smartest on Earth? And even Eternity is like, yeah, no, he's smarter than you. But even like, can you imagine being given a title as amazing as scientist? Like, you are being recognized as like the greatest
supreme
scientist,
literally.
but as a constellation prize, because there's a guy that's smarter than you, and you just happen to be in the area. Really, that's what it ended up being.
The Supreme titles are not necessarily given to the best. Like Sorcerer Supreme is not necessarily the best sorcerer. Dr. Doom was Sorcerer Supreme for a little bit, and it's the same thing. It was like, no, Dr.
It's about
Doom
responsibility, right? That's more
exactly.
So. It's somebody who is extremely skilled, one of the best, who can also be the protector or guardian or whatever they need to be at that
precisely
at that time.
Yeah. I can talk
that's
about
hilarious.
Yeah, I can talk about
he's
some of
literally smarter than the Scientist Supreme. Okay.
I can talk about some of Mr. Holt's intelligence feats because a lot of them are like, classic comic booky intelligence stuff. And some of them, one of them is the most absurd thing I've ever encountered. So comical. Okay, so let's see. He once counteracted a 13.5 on the Richter scale mega earthquake, which was stated to wipe out humanity. He was able to counteract that on the fly by fixing some technology and creating a sonic black hole, like a black hole made out of ultrasonics. He outsmarted Digitus, everyone's favorite comic book villain, who is a being that is like, he's like Brainiac. He is powered by 1,000 supercomputers all at once, built specifically to outsmart Mr. Terrific, and he still outsmarted them. He translated this alien language in a single day, which took another advanced alien race thousands of years just to translate a couple of words. Batman actually did the same thing, but his version was basically like broken English, like they couldn't understand it. He once built a mini sun for his garden. He used another black hole to send a message back through time. That's all wonderful, fun, comic booky stuff. This one's crazy. He was once, so there's a issue of the Terrifics where he is fighting Bizarro, who has his own version of the Terrifics called the Terribles. And Bizarro has time powers in that. And Bizarro uses his time powers not only to de-age all of the characters and lower their skill abilities to like child level. So Mr. Terrific's intelligence was like at a child's level of intelligence. Not only that, he trapped them in a time loop. So at the end of the day, they'd all die and then be reborn, and then like time would reset, and they'd be stuck in that forever. By the end of the first loop, Mr. Terrific realizes that they're stuck in a time loop, and he says, the only way that we're going to get out of this is if I will myself to remember. And then he did. Over the next couple of time loops, he used his like ability to connect emotions to memories in order to remember the events of a time loop. To be clear, he was not sent back in time. Time reset. The timeline reset. He remembered memories that did not exist. His brain is acausal. That's one of the most insane fucking intelligence feats I've ever heard of in my life. It doesn't make any sense. That's not how it works.
It's like it's garbage make believe. Like there's no reason for that to be.
Yes.
There's not like even a
His
single
ability,
thread of logic to that.
He has a natural aptitude for natural aptitudes. He can remember memories that don't exist.
Okay.
I think that's pretty fucking insane, personally speaking. Because it allows him to create some pretty nuts technology. We can get into that, or we can go back to Javi if you have some stuff.
Okay. I mean, Zbot mentions you ever get so smart your brain becomes a causal. Like, okay, is that really intelligence, or is that just having a physically superhuman brain that is capable of being unaffected by time magic shenanigans or whatever? Like, he's not using his intelligence to do that. He's just using.
Yes, he is. He developed a method of doing that on the fly. Like he thought of the way to do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I am going to use the emotional connection I have with my wife and her death in order to like ingrain this image into my brain. Yeah.
So you're saying he is intelligent enough to rewire his like brain essentially and thought processes
to work regardless of the time stream.
But back in time,
that's nonsense.
That's what doesn't make any sense to me. Like it
I mean, okay, so his power is learning, right? That's his superpower.
It's learning, yes.
So I guess I can kind of see how that would like he learns to adapt to the situation he's in, right? Like that's kind of the idea there. So he does have a literal superpower in that sense, and Reed does not have an intelligence superpower specifically, right? Like his intelligence is just his own.
It's just his own. There are implications that his ability to stretch like has
stretches his
influenced
brain.
Yeah, literally.
Add more wrinkles and folds.
Stretches how much he can fit in that mind.
No, that's explicitly. I've seen that before.
Third Degree just gifted 50 memberships. Holy crap! Thank you, Third Degree.
Whoa,
that's incredible. If anybody in chat got a membership from Third Degree, give them a thanks because that's a lot. Appreciate that.
You.
Here we go. Not the membership battle again. Because of Picture 64. Yeah, here we go. The chat's just gonna be filled with gifted memberships for a bit. So give it a minute. Incredible.
I can maybe add like one or two more feats of intelligence.
Yeah, go for it.
For fantastic. So like I've been saying, obviously number 1 smartest in Marvel, but we also know 1 through 10. So number 7, I believe, is Amadeus Cho, who can literally think at infinite speeds. And who's above him is Hank Pym at, I believe, 6th or 5th. And then above all of them is Mr. Fantastic himself. So even he's smarter than a guy who can think at infinite speeds. And then he's smarter than another guy who's supposed to be smarter than him. Like even like more stages above, like several stages above him. Yeah, I think that's the only other thing I got, but
thinking at infinite speed is also another one of those things. I know I'm grouchy today about everything that's stupid in comic books, but it's just like, what do you even mean? Like, what even like, whatever, comic book writers.
Yeah. Well, okay. got some more gifted memberships coming in. Thank you, Get Jenks. And Third Degree mentions I was going to do this last cast, but payment didn't go through. Remember? Thanks
Oh,
for
yeah.
the Militor. Vimilite said it again. Famulator and Nikki for covering me last time. Yeah. Well, either way, thanks, Third Degree. Who's ranking these people? Like, is
Yeah.
this
Marvel
this is,
themselves.
This is from the Marvel like side page, right? Where it's like the top 10 most intelligent people
okay.
in the Marvel universe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll do these like spread pages where it's like the fastest characters, the strongest characters. So this is the most intelligent one. Is that what this is coming from?
Well, actually, not only that though, it is explicitly spoken in universe. So Amadeus Cho even goes on record to say that he's the sixth, and then the reason why I say seventh is in the instance where it's talked about where their rankings are. Hank goes, well, because Hank for a while was off planet, so in the conversation he's like, well, I've been off planet for a while, so you probably down to like seventh now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this what smart people do? They literally
Yeah.
like meet up and they go like, let's rank our intelligence.
That's exactly what they do. Like, yeah, Hank and Mr. Fantastic, they have a geek off in one arc, and it's the best because it's just them trying to outwit the other. And in the instance where they're fighting, he literally overnight Reed makes what I call a Gojo room, where it's called a Xeno room, which increases the distance between him and another person infinitely by half each time, slowing down, literally like Gojo until they'll never be able to reach him. And he called it an easy build. So
naturally. Mike also just posted, Reed canonically stretches his brain matter to increase the amount of literal memory he has access to. So, okay. So he does have superhuman memory. So he can basically just remember anything, which I guess is what sort of feeds intelligence. So I guess he can kind of force super intelligence into himself.
Yeah.
Okay. There's one thing I definitely want to make sure we cover as well, which is what's up, Liam?
No, go on.
After that. The ultimate nullifier. I've seen it come up in chat a couple times. Just want to see if that should be included for Reed.
I mean, it's really OP. I was eventually gonna get to that, but yeah, I mean, he's had it several times. Like he's just has it like in the Baxter building, just like on the go. Yeah, I mean, if we include that, I mean, so in one instance,
so he just has
it,
one in the Baxter building.
Yes, he literally has one. I like, and there's like 4 different comics that because I made sure I was like, is this just a one-time thing? But no, he literally has it like just chilling in there. I think he even made one at some point, but it's nowhere near as strong. Still very powerful, but considering he also makes weapons that can harm Celestials. But yeah, he's had regular access to an ultimate nullifier. Even a Watcher gave him one at one point. In the instance that he used one, the first time he had it, it was legit. He threatened Galactus. He said, "Hey, like I'm going to use this," and Galactus like shit his pants. Was like, "Okay, don't." And then he did what Reed wanted him to do. And then in the second instance, I don't know the full context, unfortunately, other than that it was the instance where the Watcher had handed it to him, I believe. But I think it was because his son, it was something to do with his son. He deleted the entire universe and then remade it to where his son didn't have powers, to my knowledge. And I think he also did something to Eternity at the same time as that.
So Reed used the nullifier to do this.
Reed used it, yeah. Which obviously also you need like a high mental fortitude to use the nullifier.
Right.
Well.
I was gonna ask, like, has there ever been a situation where he's used it? So yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When I was looking into Mr. Terrific, I was aware of the ultimate nullifier, and I was like, fuck. This is a really interesting debate, except for the ultimate nullifier.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine if Mr. Terrific had a T-sphere that countered the ultimate nullifier? Can you imagine that? Because you don't have to.
Imagining
anymore.
It for me.
All right, get into it.
Okay. First, I want to mention, just because I want to build up. One of the big super spheres that he has is called the Boom Sphere. And what it does is it combines new god technology like Darkseid and stuff to create T-spheres that act as boom tubes, which are a teleport matter between here and the fourth world. And what it acts as, there's 3 of them all at the same time. What it acts as is if you put anything into it, it's teleported to the next boom sphere, but it basically like erases you. Like if you put like solid matter, like a person into it, it'll cut you. It'll sever that matter from you. It's so strong that it could even harm beings like Darkseid in Apocalypse, like higher dimensional beings like him. It cuts Godflesh, which makes sense because it is Apocalypse technology. He was actually able to use that to redirect Darkseid's Omega beams, which wipe things from reality. So that Celestial Gun, yeah, that's going to go right into the boom sphere, and it's going to be like sort of teleported back and forth between it. But that's not the most impressive thing. The most impressive thing I found was the T Infinity. And
Okay.
Let's see, which image do I want to use? Sam, if you could bring up Terrific 5. So what the T Infinity is it is a T-sphere that generates an infinite number of probabilities, an infinite number of things that can happen, which are established in the comic. Mr. Terrific thinks that they're just sort of giving him options of different possibilities, like different like plans to follow. No, they generate entirely different timelines. And when Mr. Terrific, and what it does is it turns the comic into a choose your own adventure. That's the gimmick of the comic. So it's like turn to page 5 to do this. And when Mr. Terrific dies, it resets and goes back to whatever the branching timeline is, whenever it started, essentially.
Yeah.
And it can do this infinitely until he finds the one way that he can win. This is very impressive on its own, because what it does is it translates the fight from when we analyze characters in Death Battle. Usually, we go for who wins the most amount of times, right? Who wins the majority if it's close. This flips that dynamic on its head and goes, as long as Mr. Terrific has one potential way to win, he'll get it. He'll get there.
Okay.
Now, that alone does not counter the Ultimate Nullifier. The Ultimate Nullifier can wipe out alternate timelines. I was reading this comic very carefully. Sam, could you bring up Terrific number 7? And each time that the timeline ended, you get something like this: end of possibility, start over. And I realized, wait a second, how is Mr. Terrific choosing to reset the timeline if he's already dead? Because he's not the one doing it. You are. You are the one turning the page back to page number 2.
Oh my god.
And then I thought, that's crazy. That's a stretch, Liam. You're stretching. Is there any other example of a T-sphere doing this? Terrific 6. It is established. So one of the possibilities is that the Justice League of China show up. And the T-Infinity speaks to the audience and goes, T-Infinity Assistance Protocol. Red text is spoken in Mandarin. So it is translating Mandarin to English for the sake of the reader. And this is an actual protocol that has been programmed into the T-Infinity. It's the entire time, Mr. Terrific is not doing anything. He even says, like when he chooses the right path, he goes, how did I choose this? How did I make this impossible guess? Because he has to like choose 4 like doorbells to ring for this fucking door or whatever. And he goes, how did I know this one was the one that wouldn't kill me? I just have this memory from an alternate timeline. Because he developed this ability after the whole time loop stuff with Bizarro. That's actually, that impossibility, that feat, is what led him to develop the T-Infinity. So even something like the Ultimate Nullifier would not overcome you, the reader, turning the page back to before Reed uses it. It is a meta textual device.
Hang on. Are you saying that Mr. Terrific's ability to learn, like his superhuman learning ability, is so powerful that he learned that he is part of a comic book?
He is not aware of this stuff. His technology is. The T-Infinity is.
Yeah, okay.
He's not directly aware of it.
I would still argue in a death battle, though, like when, was it 5? Was that the first one you showed? Whenever he
sure, yeah,
gets killed by this knife down here, like, he's died. He's out. Even if a T-Infinity sphere is able to run it back, like, he still
It
has
doesn't run it back.
died and lost, right? Like,
It doesn't run it back because the what you're seeing here is one probability. There are others. It's generated an
Yeah.
infinite number of probabilities, and one in which he survives, no
He's
matter what,
essentially
as long as it's
examining
possible.
all the
So-
probabilities and finding the one that. So the argument is that the T infinity, which yes, Doug, I saw your. You mentioned why isn't it called the infinite T? I agree.
100% Doug. Absolutely.
So the T infinity, basically, he can use it to determine every possible. It's the Mr. Strange in Infinity War thing, right? Like every possible
Yeah.
way things can go.
He creates
until
them.
he finds the timeline essentially where he wins and can ensure that that's the probability that occurs.
He doesn't determine them. He creates them. So he creates
okay.
all the he creates a probability where he wins.
Okay.
He creates an infinite number of probabilities.
Of course.
So it's yeah.
Until Mr. Fantastic literally just touches the T infinity and reprograms it for himself. So that's also a possibility. But I guess he would know that, right?
Protected from hacking. Remember?
Could this be maybe the first episode that has 2 canonical endings? Because there's a possibility where either
I was thinking about like having.
That's crazy.
Okay, I thought about that. Okay, and I do have actually, because I was thought like, would it be fun if you like got the video, the YouTube video pops up and it gives you like one of the like the links that you can like click. No, because if you go back to Terrific number 7, it doesn't give you multiple options. It's just start over or close the comic book. So it's not like
it's literally
save Mr. Terrific's life.
Yeah.
It's not save Mr. Terrific, yes or no. It's just start over or assume you stop reading. So it's not. Yeah. I mean, the idea is that there would be probabilities where Mr. Fantastic wins, but the T Infinity would always have a start point where there would always be a version of reality where Mr. Fantastic does not use the ultimate nullifier, or he fucks up with the ultimate nullifier, or where Mr. Terrific hacks into the ultimate nullifier and reprograms it to use it against Reed, or anything like that. It's an infinite number of probabilities.
So
some probabilities where Mr. Terrific loses, but if there's one where he does win, that's where it goes, and then at the end of the comic he can cancel it and end the protocol.
Okay.
And continue on with that one timeline.
And
I told you this guy was fucking crazy.
Okay, does though. Okay, so here's another thing. Like, so it's like Mr. T, Infinity, Reader. In our version, would it be like Mr. T, Infinity, Wiz and Boomstick, Viewer, and then like would Wiz and Boomstick have to contend with the Infinity?
Well, I don't know.
So Marvel Comics has done this, or DC, both DC and Marvel have technically the Reader is part of the cosmology, right? This is oh my god, why am I blanking on the story arc? Final Crisis has this as well, where Thought Robot Superman is literally like interacting with the Reader. So it's more so that the Reader is just this higher plane of existence in the DC cosmology, watching everything happen. So it wouldn't necessarily have to change for Death Battle. This would just be us sort of analyzing the Reader as part of the cosmology of DC. So, which is just insane to think about, but yeah, that's essentially the idea, is that, hey, if you're reading a DC comic, you're part of the story, kind of. Okay, so we do have to get to
I didn't know about any of this shit. Before I looked at Mr. I just thought Mr. Terrific was like just sort of like smarter Batman. Like somebody described him as he's Batman with prep.
Circles.
Yeah.
Batman with prep and also with ultimate prep, apparently. Okay, so final arguments. We got to wrap this up. Liam, go ahead and give us your final argument for.
He's Batman with ultimate prep.
Okay.
The T Infinity genuinely counters even something as high as the ultimate nullifier. And he's just gonna like he has been given such a glazed job by DC because he's part of this movie, part of the Superman movie. He was really cool.
Sure.
They're giving him tons of stuff, and he's going to get a new team called the Terrific 10. I think that Mr. Terrific, in the same way that he is always learning and always adapting, he's gonna get even more shit, even more broken shit than this in comics.
All right.
To come soon.
Javier, I also want to make sure to give you an opportunity to kind of like counter whatever the heck this is too. So make that part of your argument if you'd like.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so I will say I think Reed technically being the smartest in Marvel gives him a leg up in being able to counteract a lot of what Michael Holt is bringing to the table. Even so far as being able to adjust his brainwaves to the point where he can actually think in a fourth dimensional space. That happened once in the comics. It was the type of ability that he did at the time. There was extra context to it where it's not something he could do, but him being able to think in a fourth dimensional way is entirely internal to him, not the abilities that he was granted at the time. So I do think that is similar to not only Michael's T-spheres, but it's something that's integral to Reed himself and not outside of him, like the T-spheres, who are doing the thinking for Michael.
Okay. I also do want to point out that like the way the ultimate nullifier works is it erases all of reality and then brings things back without the target. So like if he targeted the T infinity, for example, it could just remove it from the playing field unless I guess the T infinity could counter that. So I do think this like T infinity versus ultimate nullifier is maybe a little bit more complicated than just the T infinity will straight out counter it. But it's clearly a very complicated relationship.
The fact that you need to say that is what's so crazy about it, right? Because
exactly.
That's the ultimate nullifier. The ultimate nullifier is the thing that goes, no, it's not complicated. It just wins. So the idea that
so the fact that it does complicate it does make this matchup way closer and way more fascinating than maybe on the surface it seemed. Wow. Okay. All right, everybody, go ahead and get your votes in. We'll be wrapping up in just a little bit. Do want to mention, if you haven't seen it yet, we do have some new merch on deathbattle.gg. We also post all death battles on there. It's our video archive. We've got behind the scenes content on there as well. We've got some new stuff coming to that very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that, including maybe some stuff related to Hulk vs. Godzilla, which is coming up. Who knows? Yeah, excited about that. Excited about the upcoming episode. And wow, what a crazy matchup. Okay, so what do you think, Sam? Give me your real quick thoughts on who you think wins.
This one's like way too out of the ballpark. I don't even think I know. I mean, now with hearing this Infinity stuff, I would lean that direction, but I'm almost like 100% confident if you really dig into the Fantastic Four, Reed has some other bullshit that will like counteract it. And it's really just going to be like stacking unreasonable like win conditions on either side until you're just like, well, I guess Reed has more. I don't know. Yeah.
Dan Ross, would Wiz admire Mr. Fantastic or Mr. Terrific or be jealous? Probably a little bit of both. That'd be an interesting thing to explore in a Death Battle episode. Yeah, okay. So the poll is wrapping up now. It's really close. It's been kind of going back and forth, but we are wrapping up the poll with... It's loading. Come on, where'd you go, poll? It's not popping up for me. I think YouTube just crashed for me.
Anticipation.
There it is. 53%. 53% to Mr. Terrific. Wow. I was not expecting that at all. You guys voted Mr. Terrific. That's crazy. That final thing with the T Infinity might have swayed a lot of people. Interesting. Okay. All right.
As long as it's 1%, as long as it's a percent at all, Mr. Terrific wins. 53 is just overkill.
Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us for another live Death Battle cast. We will be jumping over to Champion Cast in just a bit, so stick around. YouTube will automatically move you over to that if you are a member. It's our members only sort of like post-show discussion. So stick around. We'll be jumping to that in just a minute. Let us know, in the comments below if you want to see this matchup, and also if you think Liam is bullshitting. And maybe there's something about this T Infinity thing that Reed should be able to counter. This is a very fun idea. I think this is really fascinating to talk about and definitely worth exploring more. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thanks to Liam and Javier for repping these like crazy complicated characters.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
We'll see you next week.